Harry, and I'm going to read Experts Fear Start of Road Rage Trend by Don Russell, Daily News staff writer. The local traffic report is starting to sound like the police blotter. On August 3rd, while trying to park his car on South Street, a 23-year-old West Philly man was shot in the head by another driver who wanted the spot. A week later, an argument between the occupants of two cars on Allegheny Avenue erupted into gunfire. A 19-year-old woman was shot in the head. On August 12th, the driver of a sports utility vehicle tried to run a van driver off the road in Upper Darby. After a collision, the first driver stabbed the second in the leg. How long till we have to buckle up both our safety belts and our bulletproof vest when we climb behind the wheel? Police say incidents like this, known as road rage, are still rare in the Philadelphia area. But traffic experts are worried we may be seeing the beginning of a far more deadly trend. It's going to get worse, said Leon James, a University of Hawaii traffic psychology professor known as Dr. Driving. James and others believe violent highway incidents are merely extreme examples of our everyday aggressive driving behavior. The Daily News reported last month that drivers who had abandoned civil roadway behavior are causing about half of all serious traffic accidents. Tailgating, running red lights, speeding, and hazardous lane changes are common behavior on the highway, said James. Aggressive driving is not extreme anymore. It has become a cultural norm on the highway, James said. And it's going to get worse for two big reasons, expert says. First, traffic is becoming more congested. That means drivers have more opportunities to engage in violent encounters. Second, we are a violent society that is proud, not ashamed of aggressive behavior. What's going to reverse the trend? Earlier this month, the National Conference of States Legislatures tackled that question during its annual meeting in Philadelphia. Some legislators, though none from Pennsylvania or New Jersey, said they had tried to introduce new laws that, although aggressive driving, none have been adopted so far because lawmakers have been unable to define aggressive driving. But Carol Pazholt, a Maryland legislature delegate, insisted, "You and I know what aggressive driving is when we see it." Other experts believe the problem can be solved with enforcement of exceeding laws. That's the cornerstone of a new program in the Washington, D.C. area called Smooth Operator. Police initiated the program after a 18 miles per hour road duel on the George Washington Parkway killed 3 people. In its first 2 weeks, Smooth Operator ticketed more than 27,000 drivers for speeding, tailgating, improper passing, and failure to obey signals. By comparison, The Daily News has found that Philadelphia police rarely write tickets for aggressive driving. For instance, in 1995, police wrote 137 tickets for red light running, which is the city's #1 cause of accidents. Though experts say increased law enforcement is a big part of the solution, psychologists like James said the problem runs ever deeper into the soul of our violent nation. We are born into road rage. We inherit it from our parents, said James. We acquire it automatically as children from adult drivers, cartoons, televisions, and commercials. Every driver at some point has these violent thoughts against another driver, he continued. There's a Jekyll and Hyde transformation when we get behind the wheel of a car. The car is our castle and the road is our freedom. When somebody gets in the way of it, we get hostile, James said. For James, the solution is better driver education that stresses the ability to contain hostility and to avoid disputes. If we don't do anything, these violent incidents are going to get worse, James said. What's increasing is our acceptance of road rage, our self-righteous indignation about other drivers. People feel almost proud of their aggressiveness. And the next article is Why Pedaling is Hard to Beat by Phillips Douglas. Britain would be healthier and wealthier if more people got on their bikes. Not only would roads be less congested and less polluted by cyclists, but cyclists would be fitter and could expect a longer life. Mike Collins from cycling charity Sustrains says, a cyclist of 50 would have the health of a 40-year-old. The Health Education Authority says that cycling for as little as half an hour a day, a journey of about 5 miles, can halve the risk of heart disease. Longer term, cycling could also help avert one of the great threats of the age, global warming. Taking to two wheels is pollution-free. The other great benefit is that cycling is cheap, so it's hardly surprising that each year more trips are made by bike than by train and London Underground combined. But Britain's 20 million bicycles need to be put to regular use. Then they can be of really effective benefits to everyone, even non-cyclists. And I'm going to answer the questions. Question number 1 is, have you ever suffered from road rage? What happened? I still remember that day. I went out with my father in a car. Everything was fine until we were at the last crossroads near my home. When we were going to across the road, I saw a motorcycle rider rush towards us in a super high speed. Not for a second, he truly bumped into our car and he overflew the car. And suddenly my father stopped driving instantly, and we got out of the car. At once, I saw a man light on the middle of the road without moving. I was shaking to death indeed. father stayed calm and called 911 immediately. My dad approached to him and checked whether he had consciousness or not. Fortunately, he was alive. He was shocked as well, but he didn't get any injured. However, everyone heaved a sign of release and helped moving the rider into the ambulance. Although he didn't get injured, he still had to check carefully if there had an internal injury. My father went to the hospital with him, but I didn't, because at that time I'm too small and my mother came to take me home. After my dad came home, he said that the man was fine. That was the first time that I had a car accident. It's so terrible that I wish I would never have again. It's also told me the lesson now that we should never ride motorcycle in such a high speed. And I'm going to answer question number 2. What do you think drivers become so aggressive when other cars get in their way? I think there would be various reasons for the situation. If we have emergency, we don't really want others to obstruct our way. Also, our mood will be influenced a lot if we spend a lot of time to switch the car to another lane. If I were the driver, I would become aggressive also when I meet with a slow driver, because some of them would occupy the fast traffic lane. People who have emergency couldn't pass by through the lane. Another reason is that people have a sense of superiority. Some people would think driving on the road is a competition. If other cars get in their way, they would be really upset, so that they would drive with a higher speed to pass by that car. People who have that kind of tendency would always want to be the number one among the other cars. Another situation would happen when people got cut in our way intentionally. It is the most common thing that we would see on the road, and it's also the main reason why drivers become so aggressive. If other cars cut in our way when we drive with a regular speed, we will easily get shocked and have an emergency brake. That might cause other car accidents and makes me very upset. And I'm going to read question number 3. Do you think people would be calmer if they cycled? If so, why? Yes, I do think riding bicycle would be calmer than drive cars or ride motorcycles. We don't usually ride bicycle with the super high speed because we don't often rush to other places by bikes, and we don't even ride bikes to achieve the emergency events. People would usually ride bikes whenever we feel free and easy. By cycling, we can enjoy the scenery besides the road with pleasant breeze. That is the experience that we can do with a car. We don't worry time passing or emergency when biking, and I don't think people would be aggressive under the comfortable circumstance. Besides, biking can also be an exercise that we can have physical training. I do believe exercising will relax our body and mind so that we wouldn't get mad easily. Moreover, we don't have problems to seek for the parking space. Bicycles are much smaller than cars and motorcycles, so that they are more easily to find place to park than drivers. The last reason would be that we could ride bicycles with our family to have much more fun, so that we will have a happier mood. We won't want to compete with other cars, so we will be calmer if we cycle. The above reason could use to explain why people would be calmer by cycling. And I also think cycling is a better choice for us to travel on the road. And I'm going to read question number 4. How popular is cycling in your country? What could be done to encourage cycling? I think the popularity of cycling in our country depends on the location we live. There are several cities that own more bikers, such as Taipei, Taichung, Tainan, and Kaohsiung. That's the reason. I think the reason why these cities own more bikers because of they take Taipei as an example. Taipei could be one of them that people ride bike more often because Taipei has more complete lanes and routes for bikers. Also, they set up the U-bike system. That is, people can learn bike freely from many places. When they ride on the road, they don't have to worry. They don't have to worry too much because of bicycle lanes. They don't have to worry the dangers, and I think they can get popularity of cycling through many ways. First, we should improve the safer facilities. We could map out more bicycle lanes to protect bikers from dangerous car accidents. And then is the convenience measure. We can set up U-bike system also in other cities that people can use them with a little cost and also learn them from many places. Moreover, we could map out more complete routes as well so that people could go many places by bikes. At that, we can hold more bicycle competitions for people or some bicycle activities. Not only they can have fun, but also they can exercise through the competition. I think there are good ways to carry out to promote the popularity for cycling. And I'm going to read question number 7. What or who do you think is the most dangerous? Cars, car drivers, or other road users? Give your reason. I think motorcyclists are the most dangerous road users. Here are several reasons to explain that. First, some of them will ride with a really high speed, and they don't think the red signs are the obstacles. They don't care about the red signs, and they don't care about others. Second, because of their volume are smaller than cars, they can pass by other vehicles more easily. Many of the motorcyclists would go through the lane between two cars even though it is very narrow. Third, some of motorcyclists would carry over 2 people. I often seen a little child sit between his or her parent and another child sit in the front with a motorcycle. Actually, it is very dangerous for a motorcyclist to turn the direction of the motorcycle. It's also really hazardous when the accident happens, because the motorcyclist can control the direction, and he can hold them safely. Fourth, many of them would covet for convenience. They ride motorcycles on the driveway or even on the pavement. When they ride on the driveway, they would serpentine to pass through cars. Therefore, not only they encounter the danger, but also they imperil others' lives. The last reason is that not every of motorcyclists wear helmets. It's the only safety measure for motorcyclists to protect themselves from danger. If they don't do it, they just expose themselves under a highly dangerous situation. So I think those are the reason why I think motorcyclist is the most dangerous road users. Thank you, Mark.